We'll go over 7 steps to get you from novice, step 1, to master, step 7, in just a few minutes. And these are the exact steps that I've personally followed to grow from incompetent little virgin boy to the dating coach with the most successful clients. And sure, these steps have worked for me, but more importantly, they've already worked for hundreds of clients. Let's go. Step 1 is the novice. You're gonna start indirect and build comfort. If you are a beginner, please do not skip this level. It is important because we're gonna start with very low pressure, making it easy for you. What you're gonna do is you're going to be asking for directions, maybe the time, or a super simple opinion on something like you need to buy a birthday present for a friend and you'd like a stranger's opinion on your idea. You're gonna say hi, passing people, you might just nod at them. It's gonna be these tiny little injections of social confidence.
Excuse me, guys. Do you know a good or the best coffee place around here?
Ooh la la, that's a big question. I don't really know because I don't take coffee here, but I see there are new places. There was one maybe just on that corner that looked quite cozy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how's the corn?
The corn is great.
Great. And it's from the market?
Yeah, it's from a guy also over there.
All right. Thank you. I'll check it out. Have a good day.
These steps are not flirtatious yet, I'm well aware, and that's the point. We call them confidence reps, trying to get your brain to engage with other people, with strangers, without panicking. Remember that confidence is built one hello at a time. Once you've done that, from there on out, you can start layering in compliments, but you want to do it very subtly. For example, you've asked someone for directions, they answer and you say, hey, thanks for your help. I like your jacket, by the way. Boom. Quick, indirect, keeps the power in your hands. Done. Step 2, the beginner. This step is slightly more direct, but still low pressure. What I want you to do here is hint at a flirty vibe or attraction without going overboard, in a very casual, over-the-shoulder way. You should focus on giving without wanting more, without needing anything back, just giving. And if it makes it easier for you, you can add a time constraint too. For example, hey, I'll keep this short. I just quickly wanted to say you look great.
Yeah, here, over here, and then to the left.
All right, I'll check it out.
Better.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I just wanted to say as well, both of you look very lovely today.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Thank you.
You're greeting a stranger with a smile, and then you add a little comment, for example, on her style. Another example, slightly more personal or more situational, would be something like, let's say you're in a coffee bar. Hey, I like how casual you order your drink. The goal here is to show awareness and a little bit of intent without being needy or very eager. You could think of it as planting seeds. You're pretty much saying, hey, I noticed you, I see you, but you're not shouting it from the rooftop. If you've practiced this a little bit and you feel decently comfortable doing this, then you move on to step number 3, intermediate. At the intermediate level, you're going to be opening with intent, which is way scarier to most people, so buckle up. This time there's no detours, no excuses, no crutches. You're not gonna first ask directions or blah 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 blah. Straight to the point. For example, you could say something like, hey, I noticed you earlier and I thought you looked cute. Hey, I thought your dress looks really cute and I thought, why not just go give her the compliment? A very good realization here on this level is that confidence is not about how loud you are, it's about how much you own how you feel and what you think and what you want to do.
Excuse me.
Hi.
Do you speak English?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, I'm going to give you a compliment that's gonna sound a little bit weird, but I work around here and I think you're the prettiest person that I've ever seen in this.
Oh, that's really cute.
I come here quite often and you're like kind of different than the usual people here.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Where do you work?
I think, well, the 2nd or 3rd street on the left.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Oh,
there,
nice.
right around the corner. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's
Oh yeah, my
it's made
pleasure.
my day.
Ah, yes, that's good. Right.
Good day.
Yeah, I
and,
just wanted to tell you to give you the compliment. I have a girlfriend and everything, but I was like, that's kind of odd that you run around here.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you so much.
You're welcome.
But I will here more often, so I will see you around.
So then I'll wave at you and then you can be reminded and you can feel great once more.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
You too.
Ciao.
So At this intermediate level, you should be able to deliver lines like the ones that we just said. It is in general a good skill to have to be able to display your intent verbally with the words you say. And I think this third level, the intermediate, is a very good time for you to practice verbally displaying your intent. So just with the words you say, because what you say matters a lot. Only how you say it and why you say it matters way more. But that's expert level stuff, and we'll get to that. First, we go to step number 4, still intermediate, but a little bit more advanced. This step is about maintaining balance mid-conversation. And honestly, this is where most guys fail, because they open with intent and they've practiced it a bunch, they can do that, but then the rest of the conversation suddenly is neutral or even friendly. And guys will assume, yeah, I told her she looks cute, so now she knows I'm hitting on her, right? But this flirty vibe is something that you continuously have to keep alive. It's not something that you establish once and then is there forever. One positive reaction for her isn't enough. You need multiple moments of sort of re-establishing that intent. For example, you could tease her, or you could challenge her playfully, you could crack a joke, show your humor, you could sprinkle in these moments of flirtation. A comparison that I like to explain this is thinking of music. You know, the peaks and the valleys in the music, they create rhythm and they keep things interesting. If it's constantly the same, then it's just super boring music, unless if you're one of these druggy tryhard hipsters that loves melodic techno. An example of what a conversation would look like: you do your approach, and somewhere in the first minute you could have your playful compliment, and then somewhere in minute 2, 3 you tease her on something small that she says. Then let's say around minute 4 or 5 there could be a small push-pull dynamic. You could show a bit of interest, but at the same time, you might be critical with what she's telling you. By the way, guys, I know that you love systems and exact templates to follow, and this is not really one of them. I don't want you to, minute 1 had to be this, and minute 2 to 3 it had to be this. And no, this is just a rough guideline, an example to inspire you a little bit, to make you realize, all right, this is sort of how much of these things I could do, and it will probably be received well. Please don't be stuck on these things in your mind, or have a little cheat sheet and you look at your Apple Watch or your Strava Runner watch and you're like, oh, it's minute 2 to 3, what should I do now? It's a small push-pull dynamic. Oh no, that was minute 4 or 5. None of that shit, please. Breathe. The biggest lesson here is, and I think it's one of the biggest lessons in dating in general, is that a lot of the attraction is created when you're not in like a high peak or a low peak, when you're not doing a big tease or being very warm in your vibe, but the moments in between. Let me explain. If you're making eye contact the whole time and then you're teasing and then you're leading and it's like pa 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 pa, what happens is that she just becomes uncomfortable. You're too much. It's too much pressure. But if you're warm the whole time and nodding and complimenting and yeah, like she's gonna be like, oh, what a cute little puppy dog of a boy. But when one time there's a big tease, or you might not agree with what she says and you're not afraid to go into a discussion about it with her, and then the next time you actually do agree with what she says, because, well, you do, and so there's a warm vibe, and one moment you're leading, but the other moment you're leaning back and you're very relaxed. There's the whole, what we call the music, right? The rhythm. What happens is the moments in between, her brain doesn't really know what's coming next. You're more unpredictable. You're not this predictable nice guy, but you're not this overly pushy, flirty fuckboy type of guy. So a lot of attraction is created in the moments between those. That takes us to step number 5. I'm not gonna waste too much time on this step, but I do feel like I have to mention it, because what I've seen over and over again is that when guys like you get good at step number 1, 2, 3, and especially 4, and they're taking more action and they're stepping up their game, then at one point they start talking to the women they really like. And what happens when they start talking to the women they really like? Well, they tend to put them on a pedestal, and when she's on a pedestal, she is above you, and when she's above you, by default you see yourself as lower, and this is going to do all sorts of stuff that messes you up. So this is a friendly reminder. Someone being your physical type doesn't automatically make them a more valuable person than you. So stay critical, stay curious, but not instantly sold. Here's a little example clip of one of our coaches keeping this curious but not sold mindset.
Hi there. Hi. Hi, sorry. I love how you start smiling.
Thank you so much.
I didn't walk over to say that. I just thought your vibe was cool, and I was
Thank you very much.
yeah, and I was curious.
So nice to hear that. Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, I was curious if you're cool too, but the vibe
I hope I
check was
am.
there. If I'm ever there again, like, let's exchange Instagrams and I'll shoot you a text. Maybe we'll do a Mallorca drink.
That was a quick example. If you notice that you do tend to put the most beautiful women on a pedestal and it is kind of messing with you, then check this video that I'm plugging here somewhere. It's a whole video about the 9s and 10s, not putting women on a pedestal, how to go about all that, what is a healthy way to deal with this. Check it out. If not, if you don't tend to do that stuff, then let's move forward to step number 6. Step number 6, still expert level, is the subtle push-pull. For example, adding a negative spike that balances out the intent without crossing into neediness. Does that make sense? Let's look at a screenshot example. On your screen is a beautiful curvy woman that one of my coaches texted. You look like we could feed the duckies together, but you also look like you could key my car. And in a way of not admitting guilt, but not denying either, she goes like, well. And by the way, this is not a copy paste line that I want you to spam everywhere. This is actually done by looking at her profile, honestly getting this vibe from her, and then shooting this text. And just like here, when done right, it adds a sort of flavor to the interaction. It keeps her curious to what's coming next from you, and it prevents early pedestalization. Because remember, my dear student, you cannot pull a girl that you're not willing to push away. And this brings us to step number 7, the master step, and we're going to be talking about closing with control. First, I want you to know that closing is mostly the result of everything that you've been doing right since the opening, rather than what most guys think is some special power move at the end. Now it's time for the close. Here comes my power move. And so closing is more about doing the previous steps correct and avoiding typical mistakes. For example, I see a lot of guys closing because they're running out of things to say, or they feel like the girl's losing interest. But you need to remember that your intent matters. In fact, your intent matters a lot. And when you close because you run out of things to say or you think she's losing interest, well then the intent of your close would be based on fear instead of based on interest. Next, I want you to know that going for the close is a very repetitive type of situation. We typically want to avoid canned lines, but when you do go for an Instagram or a number or an instant date, it is useful to have some sort of line prepared so you don't fumble something that was otherwise a guaranteed success. And so, for example, in our 12-week attraction program, we will take you through all these steps, all these 7 steps over and over again so that it becomes natural for you. And we will also teach you closing lines, but more importantly, we'll teach you how to become the guy who gets to the closing moment consistently. If that sounds like something that could be interesting for you, then check the description in the video. You can book a free call, and I would say do it now because winter's coming and we know winter is going to be cold and we could make it a little bit warmer. Anyway, by following the system from this video, you should notice that you'll overthink less, you should be overcompensating less, and you should stay in control of the interaction a bit more, which as men love feeling, that we're not handing out the reins. It should allow you to create a natural interaction in your conversations, and it should repeatedly give you high quality connections and increase your chances of getting nice dates. Lastly, I could pretty much guarantee you that if you follow these steps, open to close, and you practice them consistently, you are building a dating rhythm that works in pretty much any environment. And that's the power of understanding intent, balance, and delivery in attraction. And again, if you'd like to be coached on these 7 steps and the infinite obstacles that will present themselves along the way, book a call with me. It's free.